A couple of messages about DUIs, driving under the influence. I asked the question, why do you do it? I don't. Many people don't, but there are people who do. Zuki says, I think people still drink and drive because they have done it before with little or no consequences, or they've seen others who do it with no consequences. So they do not see it as risky behavior. Another message here says, it also has to do with generational hangovers. A school friend of mine said that it was absolutely normal for his dad to drive long distances with a few beers in the cup holder. It was normalized in their families. Why? And we'll speak quite a bit within the next hour, particularly after that tragic instance of a cyclist being killed by a drunk driver at 7 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Joining me now, Maxine Bezuidenhout, Chief Director for Traffic Management here in the Western Cape Province. Good morning, Maxine. First time I'm speaking to you as your appointment for the Head of Traffic in the Western Cape. So best of luck to you, your first December season. But just looking at some of the statistics released by the Western Cape government, 119 arrests made, 81 for driving under the influence of alcohol here in the city of Cape Town. City saying that since the beginning of December, 1,500 arrests for drunk driving. It's an 11% year-on-year increase. What is happening? Why aren't people getting the message?
Good morning, Lester. Thank you very much for the very welcomed introduction. Yeah, so, for us, it's we see this every year, and the roads are already busy, and already we're seeing risky behavior. So risky behavior in terms of speeding. I've seen such a lot of reckless overtaking. People are just so impatient, and then people driving while they're tired, unroadworthy vehicles, and unfortunately the alcohol use as well. And you know what? My anxiety just went up a notch when you were saying to me that people are still saying that it's okay to drink and drive, and it's not okay. And the arrests prove it. For us, especially in the province, a win is having minimal arrests. More arrests are just telling us that people are just not adhering to our messaging that's been going out, and they are engaging in more and more risky behavior, which is going to cause loss of life.
But the arrests are happening, and we see it in the weekly or periodic stats that the city and the province issuing, but when it comes to conviction rate, according to the South Africans Against Drunk Driving organization, they suggest that the conviction rate may be as low as 7%. So we're talking about consequence management. People do think they can get away with it because the risk of being convicted is so low.
And I'm going to be bold enough to say that our courts are failing us. Our officers are out there. Our officers are making the arrests. Our officers are visible. The police officers are processing the arrests when we bring it in. But when it gets to court, it's either sloppy detective work, or the prosecutors are just not interested, or the person has a smart lawyer, and the case runs for years because they're waiting for the blood to come back. Yeah. So it's the justice system has failed us, especially when it comes to road traffic offences.
I'm not going to virtue signal here, Maxine, but I don't drink and drive. If I know I'm going to an event where there will be alcohol served, even if I'm supposed to keep it proper, if I'm speaking at an engagement, even if I'm having one glass, I will tell my wife I'll take a Uber. Yeah. Because when I know these statistics, I'm not afraid of police. I'm not afraid of cops. I'm afraid of a weekend in the Chuki, and I'm more afraid of my wife, that phone call that I would have to. So to be quite honest, I'm being funny here, but to be quite honest, I don't. If I were to take that calculation, which I don't, I look at the statistics of a 7% conviction rate. I think bring shame back. Bring shame from your family, from your friends, from the public, to say this is absolutely immoral and illegal behavior.
But it's so sad that we have to go that route, Lester. People need to take, and I've been saying this for years, personal responsibility and accountability. Be responsible, be accountable for your own behavior. Because if we all do that and we take personal responsibility for our behavior, then we shouldn't be seeing arrests like this, and we shouldn't be seeing all these incidents happening and all these people dying on our roads, because it's preventable and it's completely unnecessary.
Message here about someone saying that they live in the Parklands area and they see you regularly driving with a bottle of beer between their legs. I don't know what we do then. I also see it sometimes, particularly over weekends, long weekends. The mate is waiting in the car. Someone's running into the bottle store. You see them in the parking area of a shopping center or outside of a bottle store, and you can already see the party has started in the vehicle. I'm not a proponent of citizens' arrest. That's the job of law enforcement. But what do we do? What do we do if I see someone who's parked in a parking area and is already sipping on something, a green bottle or a brown bottle? Do I call the mall security? Do I call the city or provincial hotline? What do I do?
So if you're in the city, you call the city. You call 107. You take the registration number down discreetly, please. We don't want people getting beat up in parking areas. And you give a description of the person, description of the vehicle, and you phone 107, especially in the city, especially at the busy beaches. And if you're phoning from your cell phone, then it's 021-480-7700. And then that's the number you dial. You give the call operator all those details. That call then gets dispatched to law enforcement, to Metro Police or traffic, whichever is the closest.
Maxine Bezuidenhout, really appreciate your time. I hope people heed the chief traffic officer in the Western Cape's warning. Just over the last week, 119 arrests made, 81 for driving under the influence of alcohol. It remains a major factor in serious and fatal crashes. Also, not just drivers, pedestrians passing away. 14 pedestrians dying on Western Cape roads in just 1 week. Many of that attributed to alcohol.